Sir William Liley of Australia described the fetus after the 42nd day as follows. It is responsive to pain and touch, and cold and sound and light. He drinks his amniotic fluid more if it is artificially sweetened, less if it is given an unpleasant taste. He gets hiccups and sucks his thumbs. He wakes and sleeps. He gets bored with repetitive signals, but can be taught to be alerted by the first signal for a second. Studies of the human fetus after the 42nd day have revealed distinct behavioral traits not unlike those of the parents. Already the fetus has evolved, could I have the next slide please, by this stage of a 7-week-old fetus, its own unique personality, perhaps as a thinking, conscious, and feeling being. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, mentioned all these events I've described and their time in the hadith. And we don't have a transparency, but I'll read it for you, and Sheikh Zandani will assist me by saying it in Arabic. When 42 nights have passed over the sperm drop, Allah sends an angel to it, who shapes it and makes it ears, eyes, skin, flesh, and bones. Then he says, O Lord, is it male or female? And your Lord decides what he wishes, and the angel records it. Thank you.
The way it was explained to me is that Muhammad was a very ordinary man. He couldn't have read, he didn't know to write. In fact, he was illiterate. And we're talking about 1,200 years ago. You have someone, a literate person, making profound pronouncements and statements that are amazingly accurate of a scientific nature. And I personally can't see how this could be a mere chance. There are too many accuracies. And like Dr. Moore, I have no difficulty in my mind reconciling that this is a divine inspiration or revelation which led him.
A direct allusion, or a potentially direct allusion, to recessive inheritance which would appear to exist in this hadith. My translation is, a man came to the Prophet and said, a black child has been born for me. The Prophet asked, have you camels? The man said, yes. The Prophet asked, what color are they? The man replied, red. Is there a gray one among them? The man replied, yes. Whence come that? He said, maybe it is because of heredity. Maybe this son of yours has this color because of heredity. If there is a genetic explanation for this, clearly the appropriate mechanism would be autosomal recessive inheritance.
So that the two hadiths that have been noted furnish us with a specific timetable for the main embryological development before 40 days. Again, the point has been made, I think, repeatedly by all speakers this morning. These hadiths could not have been obtained on the basis of the scientific knowledge that was available at the time of their writing, and hence could support the hadiths reflecting the knowledge of God. It follows, I think, that not only is there no conflict between genetics and religion, but in fact religion may guide science by adding revelation to some of the traditional scientific approaches. That there exist statements in the Quran shown centuries later to be valid, which support knowledge in the Quran having been derived from God. Thank you very much.
Obviously, life begins at the moment of fertilization when a single sperm fuses with an ovum to form a one-celled embryo or zygote. At this moment, the ultimate character of that new individual is decided. The Quran recorded these facts 1,400 years ago.
In substance, the Quran describes not only the development of external form, but emphasizes also the internal stages, the stages inside the embryo of its creation and development, emphasizing major events recognized by contemporary science. Thank you for your attention.
Scientist, I can only deal with things which I can specifically see. I can understand embryology and developmental biology. I can understand the words that are translated to me from the Quran. As I gave the example before, if I were to transpose myself into that era, knowing what I do today and describing things, I could not describe the things which were described. I see no reason, I see no evidence for the fact to refute the concept that this individual, Muhammad, had to be developing this information from someplace. So I see nothing here in conflict with the concept that divine intervention was involved in what he was able to write.
I find it very interesting that this sort of information is in the ancient scriptures of the Holy Quran, and I have no way of knowing where they would come from, but I think it is extremely interesting that they are there and that this work is going on to discover the meaning of some of the passages.
Then you have flatly denied to be just, from a man or human source. From who then do you think the original or the source of such information?
Well, I would think it must be the divine being.
In a relatively few ayah is contained a rather comprehensive description of human development from the time of commingling of the gametes through organogenesis. No such distinct and complete record of human development, such as classification, terminology, and description, existed previously. In most, if not all instances, this description antedates by many centuries the recording of the various stages of human embryonic and fetal development recorded in the traditional scientific literature.